Can a menstrual cup permanently stretch you out and make you loose? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, and welcome to the Period Nirvana channel. My name is Kim Rosas, and I'm a reusable period products expert. If you're here, you're at least somewhat interested in this concept, so think about subscribing for more content like this. One of the things I've done with my decade of experience doing menstrual cup and disc education, and of course using those products and helping other people find the right fit for them, is I've developed a quiz on periodnirvana.com that helps you find the right cup or disc for you. And if you're shopping for menstrual cups or discs, or cloth pads, or period underwear, or even period educational materials, you can find that on my store, period.shop, so check that out. This video is actually going to be pretty short because really all there is to say is that it is a total myth. Menstrual cups do not make you loose or permanently stretch out your vagina. The vagina is a muscle and it is surrounded by the pelvic floor. And so it is designed completely, its entire existence is to stretch and go back, stretch and retighten, stretch and go back. Now, of course, we're not going to have the same vagina that we had when we were 18 years old. Over time, age, hormones, full-term pregnancy, those things can loosen your vagina. But a menstrual cup is not going to be a contributing factor. One of the things I did when researching this post and video is I looked up something I've actually never Googled before, and that is the average girth of a penis. In my workshops, I would always just kind of say, hey, this is a common question I get. Will the cup stretch you out? And so I typically address that in in-person workshops when I used to get to do those things pre all of this. And I just said, think about what goes in and what comes out. So the average diameter, because I'm used to talking about menstrual cups, right? So we're going to go for diameter. The average diameter for a penis is about 37 millimeters, which is this big. The average, we'll go for large because this is kind of on the biggest expected size for a menstrual cup you might be using. Of course, there is a spectrum of sizes, which we know, but let's say the average large size menstrual cup is 47 millimeters diameter. So we put those two together and center it. The menstrual cup is a little bit wider, but again, it doesn't matter how big or small the item is that's going in and out of the vagina. It's going to return to its natural state. It is not going to permanently expand. So for an example of this, I'm going to use this netting, which has some elastic properties, and we'll use a large or size regular menstrual cup. This is from Salt, and it is the average 46 millimeters in diameter. And so the vagina is going to stretch to accommodate this product, and it's going to open, so it will get wider. Here it is. It's pressing against the vaginal walls. When we remove it, breaking the seal, of course, it is going to return to that state. It's really just as simple as that. It does not matter the size of the menstrual cup you use. It can be a large, it can be a small, it can be an extra large, it can be a Tampax, which has the widest diameter. It can also be a menstrual disc, which sits in a different area, but again, it going in and out is not permanently stretching out your vagina and making it loose. So what can change the toneness of your vagina? There is something called vaginal laxity, it getting looser. This typically happens in a few different ways. One, of course, is just the process of aging. I'm getting up there. I'm in my late 30s. I recognize that I more comfortably fit a large or a size 2 or a size B menstrual cup. That's okay. And not to mention the differences in their sizes are very minimal. And that's really what you're experiencing. It's just a very gentle loosening of the vagina. And so, like I said, there's the pelvic floor and there's the vagina. There are things that can address this, especially if you feel it is a particular problem for you. The biggest thing being seeing a licensed pelvic floor therapist. I know there are a lot of different machines out there and Kegel weights and balls and different things, but if you're not being guided by a professional, sometimes overdoing it or doing the wrong exercise without balancing it with a different exercise can do more harm than good. I am by no means a pelvic floor therapist, and I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I know enough to say that it's best to find guidance from someone than to kind of DIY your way into pelvic floor therapy using things that you buy on the internet. Another thing that can change that tonus of your vaginal muscle is just hormones. Our hormones will affect that as we age. And pregnancy and childbirth are a factor. Having a full-term pregnancy does loosen those muscles. And so again, it's a very slight change, and sometimes it will snap back right to where it was, especially if you had a pregnancy when you were younger. And sometimes it will be in a slightly more loose state. And that pelvic floor therapy, which I was talking about to tighten the pelvic floor, is adjusting and tightening the muscles around the vagina. And again, I am not an expert. I am just sort of regurgitating some of the things I've learned over the years. So I think that's it. This is really short and sweet. It's just, they don't. I could have just made a video that said, no, they don't. I hope everyone has a wonderful festive season. I'm going to spend some of the extra time I have working on these little cup drying spots that everyone's been asking me to finally put on Period.shop. So I've been figuring out a way to make them on a larger scale. It's been busy in my little workshop. In fact, over here is a nightmare situation. That's where I've been doing all my work. Thanks so much for watching today. If you're new, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram at Period Nirvana, on TikTok, same story. And if you need more help with your menstrual cup, try our troubleshooting group on Facebook. It's called Period Nirvana Community. We'll see everyone in the new year. Bye. Make sure. Bleh. We change, our hormones change. Our hormones. Why can't I say hormones? Vaginas. Aww. She's my big baby.